reclaim this city for the glory of Rome.
You have something in you. Rage. Never let it go. It will carry you to greatness.
Gladiator 2, one of the year's most anticipated films. It has been contributing to the biggest Thanksgiving weekend ever at the movies. There's some pretty spectacular scenes in the film depicting the drama of ancient Rome, but what is based on reality and what is Hollywood's version of it all? Shadi Barch is a professor of classics at the University of Chicago, here to break it all down for us. At least I didn't see any Starbucks cups in any of the scenes anywhere, which certainly has happened. Overall, how would you rate the accuracy?
Well, it's an interesting question. So after watching the trailer, I opined that it was Hollywood BS, and I got some pushback. And the parts of the trailer that I saw were really pretty campy and not at all historically representative of ancient Rome. So that there were no sharks floating around in the amphitheater. The Caracalla and Gaeta probably did not wear pink eye makeup and have syphilis.
Yeah.
There were no hairless baboons. I guess those were CGI baboons. Apparently, Ridley Scott was asked about it so often that he resorted to saying that the baboons had alopecia, hair loss, and that explains their appearance. And of course, there were no gladiators standing on top of rhinos. And what else? There were no cafes, no newspapers. So all of those elements were, very much created for Hollywood.
But the battle scenes themselves, I mean, the battles did take place.
So much else in the movie really struck a chord and was historically accurate. So the emperors did fill up the Colosseum with water and have miniature sea battles. They were called naumachii, usually involving slaves or criminals or other unfortunate people who would fight to the death on these ships. And often, as is said in the movie, these battles would be set to represent a famous historical sea battle. For example, Salamis with the Persians fighting the Greeks. Needless to say, even if you told everybody this is a reenactment of that battle, the prisoners on the boats were pretty much going to do what they wanted to do, and they were not going to sit around asking themselves, well, historically, what happened? So you had some stunning reversals of historical battles in the miniature versions in the amphitheater.
What about the primary characters? Lucius, played by Paul Mescal in the movie. Denzel Washington, in my opinion, steals this movie.
He does, doesn't he?
With Macrinus. I mean, did they actually exist in the way that we see them in the movie? Because it's my understanding, I'm certainly no expert, that Lucius died very young. He did not live to be the age that we see him in the movie.
Well, there was a Lucius Verus who ruled together with Marcus Aurelius, but there was no Lucius such as this Lucius that we see
in
here.
The movie,
The person who does have a historical background, although it's different from what you see in the movie, is Macrinus, the charming yet evil gladiator owner. Macrinus actually did become Roman emperor right after Caracalla. So in this movie, Macrinus is scheming to become emperor, and in history he does, but he was not a North African slave dealer and gladiator owner. He was a member of the Caracalla's personal guard, and he assassinated Caracalla and made himself emperor. And he got to be emperor for about a year, and then somebody assassinated him, which is pretty much how it went in ancient Rome those days.
So it really is a depiction of, I mean, the violence that you see, the gore and the
I'm afraid that's
the brutality,
real.
That's real.
That is very real. And the other thing that is real is the amazing representation of people from around the world at Rome. I mean, Rome was a place where people from North Africa, from the East, from the North, all congregated. Some of the Roman emperors never actually set foot in Rome, such as our famous Macrinus, who managed to be emperor for Rome for a year, without ever seeing the city.
Yeah, so very interesting. Shadi Barch is a professor of classics, University of Chicago. Maybe we can have you back to break down the historical accuracy of Moana to
I'd be delighted.
future episodes.
And I'm also hoping that now that I've said better things about Gladiator 2, I won't be in the amphitheater fighting a rhino and glad he
Yeah.
had
There you
three.
go with
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, but
Fingers crossed
no
on that one.
promises.
Heroes,
No
Fabulous,
guarantees,
No promises.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.